Yesterday, we started with the lesson of the quadratic formula, right? Module 3, lesson 6. So we have module 3, lesson 6, the quadratic formula. Please close your box. Just focus with me on the board, please. Now we said the general form of the quadratic equation is ax power 2 plus bx plus c equals 0. Means any quadratic equation, we can write it on this form. Any quadratic equation, we can write it on this form. A, B, C are numbers. A, B, C are numbers. A, always the coefficient of x power 2, always. When I say A, go to x power 2, take the number beside it. When I say B, go to x, take the number beside it. C also the free pair. So A is always the coefficient of x power 2. So A always with x power 2, B always with x, and C is the free term, right? A, B, C are numbers. A cannot be 0. A cannot be 0, because if A is 0, then there is no x power 2, right? Then we are not talking about a quadratic equation, we are talking about linear equation. So shift divide. So A always can be positive, negative, or 0. No, cannot be 0. But BC can be 0. For example, when I say 2x power 2 plus 5x plus 7 equals 0. Here, this is A, this is B, this is C, right? But if I say 2x power 2 plus 7 equals 0, then there is no B. B with what? With x. Do we have x? No. We have A and C. مش مشكلة. Not a problem. Got it? Got it? Stop talking, please. Okay, so A can be positive, negative, but not 0. BC can be anything, including the 0. Got it? So after we prepare ABC, we can started with our formula. Okay, now the first thing we need to start with is the discriminant. The what? The discriminant. What's the discriminant? The discriminant. Yesterday we talked about it, but the period finished before we explain it more. The discriminant, we will call it delta. We will call it delta. Delta is a small triangle. It's the symbol of the discriminant. The discriminant in Arabic words means مميز, بيميز. Got it? Do you understand the Arabic word? The discriminant tells me the type of the solutions of the equation. It can be complex, it can be real, it can be one solution, and it can be two solutions. Got it? So the discriminant, it has a formula. Its formula depending on A, B, and C. So delta equal B power 2 minus 4 times A times C. This is the formula of the discriminant. We said A, B, C are numbers, right? So the delta, after you calculate this formula, it will be a number. This number can be positive, negative, or 0. In each value, we have information. If it is positive, if it is negative, if it is 0. If it's positive, then the equation has two real solutions, no I. no ايش fish eye. If it's 0, it has one real solution. One real solution. If it's negative, no real solutions, means we will have two complex solutions. Okay, so here if it's negative, it has two complex solutions. Now, and I want you here to focus, please. If the question asks you to solve the equation and the question said find the real solutions of the following equation, and after you find using the quadratic formula, after you finding delta, you get it negative, no need to solve it. You just say no real solution, but the real not real. The delta is negative and it has what? Two complex. But if the question said solve the following equation using the quadratic formula, means the question wants the solutions, whatever the type of them, complex, real, whatever. Got it? فهمنا? Now, after we find delta, why we use delta? To know what we will have, right? Now, after we find delta, we will find mean. We will use what? The quadratic formula. What's the quadratic formula? The quadratic formula is, it's the value for x, right? At the end, we want x equal number, مش هيك? The solutions. X equal minus b plus and minus square root of delta, which we found, over 2 multiply a. What's b? b, ايش ال b? The coefficient of x. What's a? The coefficient of x power 2. Of delta, b power 2 minus 4ac. Got it? Let's take general example. Let's take general example. In this example, what I will do, we will solve it by factoring as we did before, and I will solve it by the quadratic formula to see if we have the same answers or no. For example, solve. I will solve it by factoring, okay? By factoring. Remember the parentheses? مثلا x power 2 plus 5x plus 6 equals 0. We make two parentheses, right? x plus 2 plus 3, then x plus 2 equals 0. Then x equal what? Negative. صح? And x plus 3 equals 0. Then x equal negative. صح? So the solutions are negative 2 and 5. If I forget the factoring way, نسيتها. If I ايش بيعمل؟ If I forget the factoring way, I will use what? The quadratic formula. So let's solve this in a quadratic formula. We are assuming that at the end we need to have the same answers, right? Negative 2 and negative 3. طيب, let's solve it by quadratic. Yeah, quadratic formula. By the quadratic formula. We have only one formula. But x power 2 plus 5x plus what? A how much? First step, prepare ABC always. A is what? 1. The coefficient of x power 2 is 1. B 5. C, prepare delta. تكتب الفورمولا. What's the formula? B power 2 minus 4ac. اكتب الفورمولا على طول. B power 2. B power 2. Yeah. B power 2 minus 4ac. Always write the formula. Don't write numbers without formula. This is equal. B power 2 means 5 power 2 minus 4 times a, which is 1, which is times c, which is equal 25 minus 24, 1. Delta is positive. 1 is positive or negative? Positive. So let's go back to delta. If delta is positive, has two real solutions. Right. So we write it. The equation has two real what? Solutions. Stop. Let's find the real solutions using what? The formula. حط الفورمula. Write the formula always. X equal minus b plus minus square root of delta over 2a equal. b how much؟ مع الماينس شو بتصير؟ minus 5. minus 5 plus minus هاي minus 5 plus minus square root of delta. How much is delta? 1 over 2 times a, which is 1 also. Simplify. Square root of 1 how much? 1. 2 by 1, 2. So x equal minus 5 plus minus square root of 1, 1 over 2 times 1. Now take it مرة positive ومرة negative. So here you have two solutions. X equal, focus now, negative 5 plus 1, negative 4, divided by 2, negative 5, negative 1, divided by 2. Same answers, right? And these answers here should be matched with your conclusion here. Two real solutions, two real solutions. Two complex, لازم يطلع معك I. One solution, at the end we have one solution. So what you have for delta, you need to have for the solutions. If you have different things than this, then you have mistake. But when I can use this, I can use this? If I ask you, solve the following quadratic equations وسكتت. انت حر. Factoring, completing the square, quadratic formula, it's up to you. But if I told you, solve the following equations by factoring, use this. By a quadratic formula, use this. By completing the square, the previous lesson. Any questions about what we did? Hands, please. Yes. 3. What is 3? This is 3. Negative 3. مين اللي بيحكي؟ طيب هاي here يا مستر. Negative 5 plus 1. Negative 5 minus 1. مرة خدها plus, مرة خدها. Find the answers. ها؟ Which 2 and 3 يا مستر؟ Here. الانسرز يا ابني here negative 5 plus 1 how much? I'm asking you negative 5 plus 1 how much? Huh? Negative 4 divided by 2 negative 2. طب negative 5 negative 1 negative 6. Here 2 and 3, why we put them? Go back to the lesson. We took by factoring, right? Two numbers, if you multiply them 6, if you add them 5, you must forget that. Huh? Else? Done? Are you writing? Fine. I will pause recording just. Read يا ابني مالك. At the World Championship Chunkin contest, right? Yeah. Yards. Yeah. Plus 42. 0.4 here, right? Right. 16 power 2 plus 124.4, 124.4 t plus 42. Continue. In physics, h always the height, right? T always the time. So h is the height of this pumpkin, okay? Modeled this distance from the pumpkin and the ground, modeled by this expression, okay? T is the number of seconds or minutes, time, okay? Continue. Good. Use the quadratic formula to solve 0 equal negative 16 t power 2 plus 12 4.4 t plus 42. The question asked us to use the quadratic formula to solve this equation, right? They put the height what? What does this mean? Assume that the pumpkin is here, right? So it has a height from the ground. If the height is 0, means the pumpkin where? On the ground. So what we will know, we will find when, after how many seconds the pumpkin will be on the ground, means the height is 0. Got it? صح? So let's use the quadratic formula to solve this equation. This is the equation which we want to solve. Prepare A, B, and C. A is the coefficient of x power 2. Here we have t power 2. So A how much? Negative 16. B, 124.4. C, 42. Let's find mean. Delta, right? Delta equal B power 2 minus 4 AC equal B power 2 يعني 124.4 all power 2, right? Minus 4 multiply A, which is negative 16, multiply C, which is 42. Calculator, how much delta will be? Are you sure? Are you sure? In the book also, 18,163.36. So using the calculator to find this numerical expression, this is the answer. Is it positive? Yes. So delta is positive, means the answers will be what? Two real solutions. So here we have what we have? Two real solutions, right? Right. There we said x equal, but here what we will say? The variable t equal. T is the time, right? So t equal minus b plus minus square root of delta over 2a, right? Replace b, replace delta, replace a, and calculate. So this is equal minus b. Can it be 124.4? So minus 124.4 plus minus square root of delta. What's delta? 18163.36 delta. Okay, all over 2 times a, which is a how much? Negative 16. Negative 16 equal minus 124.4. Okay, 124.4 plus minus how much? Square root of delta, square root of this number, square root of this number. Are you sure? 133.34 34.77. Are you sure about the number? Over 2 multiply negative 16, negative 30, right? Now we will take it positive and we will take it to have what? The two solutions, right? So T1 and what? T2, right? T1 take it positive, يعني negative 124.4 plus 134.77 divided by negative 32. What is it? Positive ولا negative? اللي فوق 10 point divided by negative 32. It will be 0 point. Positive ولا negative? Negative how much? Wait. Negative 0.324, right? Right? Top T2, we will take it negative. So negative 124.4 minus 134.77 divided by negative 32. What's the answer? The whole. Positive or negative? Positive. 8.09 seconds. And here also seconds. So we have two values of t. We have two values of t. Focus on the board, please. T1, negative 0.324, right? And T2, 8.09. What's the logical solution here about the pumpkin to be in the ground? Can the time be negative? Can I say that after negative 2 hours, I will go home? صح? So this solution ignored. هذا السوليوشن ماله؟ Ignored. ليه؟ Time, because t is the time. Time cannot be negative. So here, ignored. But this solution which we want, what's this mean? This means that the pumpkin, it was here. After 8.09 seconds, it will be where? On the ground. Got it? But this is solved in your book. It is solved, okay? No need to write it. We will go to do the check, and the check, use your copy book, please. Copy book, no space in your book, okay? Copy box, guys, copy box. No space in your book. It is solved يا ابني. محلول. يلا, the check. We are on the check after example 1, and let's read it quickly, please. نهدى. Yeah. A diver jumps from a diving platform that is 10 meters high. غواص مش بيطلع على شيء وبيقفز بالبحر، بينط بالبحر. This thing, he will go on it. The height of it from the ground, how much? 10 meters high. Her arc can be modeled by, هو هيك صح? This is distance. This distance modeled by y equal negative 4.9 x power 2 plus 2.5 x plus what? 10. Right. Where y is her height in meters and x is the time in what? So keep in your mind that y is the height of the jumper or the diver, and x is what? The time in seconds. عشان النط يعني كم بياخذ؟ 2-3 seconds, right? طيب. Solve part A. Solve 0 equal negative 4.9 x power 2 plus 2.5 x plus 10. صح? So the question said in part A, we need to solve this equation, right? But if you think about dividing in negative 4.9, then factoring, this will take a time, and it's difficult kindly because all the numbers are decimals except 10, right? So here what we need to use? The quadratic form. So I will prepare A, B, and C. A is negative 4.9. B 2.5. C, 10. Find delta. B power 2 minus 4AC equal B 2.5 all power 2 minus 4 times A negative 4.9 times C is 10. Calculator. And be sure, please, put parentheses here. 2.5 all power 2 minus 4 times negative 4.9 multiply 10. 202. Are you sure? 200? 202.20 positive. Positive means what? Two real solutions. For whom? For the equation. Okay? Two real solutions. Let's find them. Let's find the two real solutions by using the formula. X equal minus b plus minus square root of delta over 2a equal minus b. How much is b? 2.5. Replace b by 2.5. So minus 2.5 plus minus square root of delta, which is 202.25, right? 202.25 all 2 multiply a, which is negative 4.9. Negative 4.9. What? No. What's the variable of the equation? The variable of the equation, x. So you are finding values for x. If you want to find the value for y, give me x. صح? If you want value for y, give me x. X, we call it independent variable. Why we call it dependent? Why? Because y, the value of y depends on x. Get it? Start. Calculator now. Find me the root first. First the root. I want the root. Square root of 202.25. How much? So negative 2.5 plus minus common root 0.22 over 2 by negative 49, negative 9.8. Right? صح? Now I will take the positive side and the negative side to find mean the two real solutions, right? So I have x1 and x2. x1, take the positive, negative 2.5 plus 14.22 over negative 9.8 equal. Calculator. This should be negative, the answer. Yeah. Negative 1. Good. Negative 1.96. Whatever. Seconds. Okay. 196. Right? Which x time in seconds. So x1 is negative 1.196. Is this logical for the time? No. So ignore it. Let's find x2. Negative 2.5. We took the positive side. Now I will take the negative way. Negative 14.22 divided by negative 9.8. This is equal positive. Positive. Because up negative, down negative, the answer will be positive 1.71. What's this mean? In part B, they said interpret the roots. شو يعني interpret the roots يا مستر? What's the meaning of interpreting the roots? See part B. Part A, they said solve the equation. We did. We have two solutions, right? These solutions, what we call them? Roots. We call them root. root عادي الجذور هذه. Root of the equation, the solutions of the equation. In part B they said interpret the roots. So what's the meaning of interpret the roots? فأنا بقترح عليك تنتبه بدل ما تطلعوا هناك تضحك صح؟ Interpreting the root to explain the root, to tell what the roots mean, right? هلا x1 negative and x they said in the question x is time in seconds. Time in seconds cannot be negative, right? So what I will say x2 equal 1.71. What's this mean? This diver after 1.71 seconds he will be where? On the water. مش بده ينط من ال10 متر بعد 1.71 seconds وين حيكون؟ بالماء. فهمنا؟ So what you will write in part B, after 1.71 seconds the diver will be in the water. Done. This is the check, you need to write it. And notice that when we have numbers like this, I use what? Calculator. So bring your calculators with you always. لا يا مستر.